your breath and begin to breathe long, slow, and deep into your abdomen and then up into your lungs. And as you're doing that, mentally repeat the word arising. So long, slow, and deep, arising on the in-breath. And then let the breath go all the way out through your nose and repeat the word falling away. So the cycle is arising on the in-breath, abdomen, lungs, and then let it go, emptying your lungs, emptying your abdomen, falling away. And then take a moment and just hang out and experience the word spaciousness. And it helps in the beginning if you actually mentally repeat spaciousness. Because where we're moving and evolving to in mindfulness practice is to explore spaciousness and what we call eternal freedom. And that's where all core creativity arises from. So arising on the in-breath, long, slow, and deep. Falling away on the out-breath. And then dropping in and just sitting in silence, in spaciousness. And that's where the wise leader begins to cultivate and to grow and to plant seeds, to go to the source, to resource creatively at one's core. And you can imagine that one's core is like a very creative, majestic, or divine river of time that flows through the delta of one's psyche. And all of the great musicians, all of the great artists, the poets, the thinkers, the creators, the inventors, the visionary leaders like Gandhi, JFK, Plato. They all spent some time each and every day in this space of quietude. It's a space that is always available to you to enter into and to receive from. And to be in a place of receptivity. Many of you are in a mode where you're searching. You're searching for the next form or the next project. Many of you are in a place where you're at a place of completion. And it's time to integrate and not move on to something new. And some of you are simply in a mode where it's a transition. You're waiting for the link, like the link in a chain, to create a bridge from one form of life or work that you've been involved in to go across the river of time of your life and to move into the next season or the next stage of your life. It's called entering into the unknown. Experience of the fertile void. To experience knowing that you don't need to know sometimes. A wise leader trusts in the capacity to let go of knowing and to be curious about taking the inner journey on the river of time, along the timeline of your life, deep into the uncharted waters and territories of your inner being. To know that it's okay, that we don't need to always know. And isn't it wonderful to know what we do know? But to be equally curious about exploring what we don't know through the silence and the richness of that silence as a way of drinking at the spiritual well of creativity and inspiration. The wise leader recognizes and appreciates and trusts that he or she needs to drink from this well, this great well of being, each and every day. And to imagine when you're sitting in silence each day that you're receiving the nutrients and the minerals and the nourishment from the water, and that thousands and millions of other like-minded beings are also nurturing their beings from this well, in the silence, waiting, appreciating, and respecting. And that as we go deeper into this space, we always want to pair the quality of attention with intention. There's an old philosophical saying, set your mind on what you want and it will manifest. Pairing attention and intention. Set your mind on what you want and it will manifest. And lastly, each and every day, ask these 4 questions and either write about them. You can open your eyes now. You might want to write them down. Why? Why not? Why not me? And why not now? So why? Why not? Why not me? And why not now? All right, I want to end with, and then we're going to take 5 minutes, right? With a quote, like I said, another Gotha quote. It's called, "We are the decisive element. I've come to the frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element. It is my personal approach that creates the climate. It is my daily mood that makes the weather. I possess tremendous power to make life miserable or joyful. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate, hurt, or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis is escalated or de-escalated, and a person is humanized or dehumanized. If we treat someone as the limited person they think they are, we support their sense of limitation. If we treat people as who we could be and as who they could be, we help them become all that they are capable of becoming. If we treat people as who they could be and as who we can be, we help them become all that they are capable of becoming. Okay, any questions, comments?
I found that the word ascend worked beautifully. When you used the term fall, I thought, no, I don't want to fall. I want to move into spaciousness. That word didn't work for me.
Okay, great. Thanks. Next question. I'll comment.
What are your thoughts about using this method to actually positively affect mass consciousness around the world?
I think it's a wonderful method. There was an actual study, not with mindfulness, but with transcendental meditation. Do we have any TM meditators in the room? About 10 or 15 years ago, they sent 2,000 people to live in Washington, D.C., and to do a 10-year study on whether crime would increase, stay the same, or decrease. And whether it was attributed to the 2,000 meditators who went there to live, or the police force got increased, we don't know, but the TM, they did a outcome study, and crime did decrease. My own personal feeling, just as a meditator, is I think if each of us took time every day, once or twice a day, we would change everything on the planet. Because I become more aware, I become more sensitive. When I'm standing at the bank and the Bostonian in me starts getting really impatient, because I got to get back and see a patient in 10 minutes, and the person in front of me is talking to the teller about that she just found this new person that does her nails in a terrific way. And I become mindful, and I go through the judgment, and then I go, she's expressing her joy. And I need to be understanding of that. So I think it helps to apply mindfulness to mindful parenting. Certainly when I'm hanging out and I'm working with my kids, I'm much better parent because I can slow down and I can be mindful. I think mothers can be more mindful when they're mothering and they're trying to get their 4-year-old or their 6-year-old dressed and all they want to do is sleep. We can be more mindful in our relationships with the people that we love. This one right here. Yeah, you.
I work at a children's hospital with catastrophically injured and illness children. And I was wondering, would this help them with their injuries and illness? Because many of them just live at the hospital for many years.
I don't know, because you used the word catastrophic. What I do know is I've been training a group of therapists who work with Iraq soldiers returning, men and women who are brain damaged and injured at the New Jersey Veteran Administration Hospital. And the vets have been telling the people that I'm training that it is helping them to feel less pain and to be able to separate from the pain. Because one of the things that IEDs create is it causes trauma to the brain. And there's no pain medication for that kind of swelling that goes on when an IED goes off. But what mindfulness can effectively do is it can teach you to separate and to actually watch yourself be in the pain. And then as you separate, you can see the pain decreasing. And that's called pain management.